What's up, everybody? I am JD Rosario from Unstoppable Comics, hanging out with my homie Ryan to talk about what is going
Yep.
on geekdom today.
What's up?
What's doing, brother? Oh man, I came out with such a flat opening. I know you hate it when I say, "What's up, everybody? What's up, folks?"
I got a title this time at least. Well, not really a title, but
Oh,
Suarez will enjoy that I got something past my name.
yes. Is he watching? I hope he's watching.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's make sure he is.
there we go.
There we go. So, there's been quite a bit going on since we last spoke, buddy.
And what's that exactly?
Our campaign, The Dead Princess of Vicky Sticks on Kickstarter, has broken 100 backers.
So we're in the triple digits now, right?
We are in the triples, the triple sex, baby.
Good stuff.
Yeah, very very excited. This is only the second time in 18 campaigns that I have broken. Oh, that's a nice setting over here. I like the way that looks. Yeah, I like that. So this is the second time in 18 campaigns that I have broken triple digits. Right? We didn't come to the precipice. We went over. All right.
Yeah, and there's still time.
There's
still
still
got time.
time. There's 11 days left to go, and tonight we are going to be giving away 3 more prizes to 3 lucky backers who have been using their hard-earned money to help us bring out a kick-ass comic book. So, salute, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you,
Cheers.
thank you for hanging with us. Thank you for believing in us. Right, we're out here grinding it out, putting our money where our mouth is, saying we can deliver a quality product that is well worth the money.
Absolutely. What you got there in the cup?
We're celebrating with a little bit of a cervecita, right? And
I gotta drink faster.
yeah, it's not going to show up. But damn it.
What kind of cervecita?
So we're going with Sam Adams. They
Oktoberfest?
Oktoberfest, baby. This is
Here's some information.
hands down my favorite beer.
Nice.
I wait for it all year. We pick up a couple cases and we're rocking and rolling. But that's excuse me, that's beer, right? That's a different type of fandom. We're here to talk about comic book and geek fandom for the evening.
Well,
Right?
there was a reason to celebrate, right?
There's a reason to celebrate. There's a reason to celebrate. Yes. There's also a reason to celebrate because in all of the years of geekdom, right, in TV shows, movies, comic books, video games, there's never been more content than there is right now. And I mean, not only is there like new shows almost every week on Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus. Does Paramount Plus do a geek thing?
Halo, yeah, they did the Halo show.
Yeah.
They did some sci-fi stuff. All the Star Trek stuff is on there too. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. HBO Plus. Everything that has a plus that's on TV. It's coming out something new, right? Video games, geek comic related or fandom related, like Call of Duty's coming out right now. Yes.
Yep. Campaign. Yeah.
It's out already.
The campaign, if you pre-ordered, is out for early access. Yes.
So it's not a beta. It's like it's
like they know that the majority of people jump into Call of Duty to play multiplayer. So people who pre-ordered it got a week early, basically to get the campaign out of the way. You're going to play it once, maybe twice in the entire time you got it. So get it out of the way before multiplayer drops next week. And I was able to jump in. It's gorgeous. It's fun. I've only played about 2 hours maybe.
Is it like before? I haven't played in a while. It's been, I don't know, maybe the last 3 releases I haven't done it, right? I haven't been on the video game tip as much as I used to. Last I remembered, the crossover between the Xbox and the PlayStation was just starting to happen. Can people still fight each other cross-platform or not?
Yeah, it's cross-play still in there. Even though, Sony may not want it, it's in there. So Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and maybe not this game, but maybe next year, even Nintendo consoles, maybe you'll be able to play on the Switch as well.
Ooh.
If Microsoft, finishes buying Activision. But yeah,
Okay.
lots of stuff. You know, this part of the year is primarily the time where the companies start to drop the big games for the year because it's holiday season. So you want have the big games, reminding people of what you can buy, all the consoles and all that for Christmas. So yeah, I think October, the end of October, now has become kind of like the prime time for that. So Call of Duty being one of the major first big release. I mean, Call of Duty's the biggest, obviously.
Yeah.
Major releases for the last couple months of the year.
Now, you touched on something a moment ago, right? You said when Microsoft buys Activision, whether it's rumor, speculation, whether it's been in the works or not, that's pretty much insider baseball,
Right.
And that's what's going on right now. I think in the world of fandom, right? That's that Fandom Overload. There's so much insider baseball going on. I mean, there are not just the new releases of these big products, whether it's comics, movies, TVs, video games, toys. There's also every podcast and every live stream like this. Hey, not knocking it. That's what I want to make sure that I get across here. I'm not knocking it, but there is so much other stuff going on. How can we process it? But before you say something, let me bring in one of our other homies who's hanging out tonight, Mr. Calderon. What's up, Papa?
Yo.
What's up? How you doing, Ryan? What's up, Jay? How you guys doing?
Everything good, bro?
I'm in a JD sandwich.
That's
the meat
really
in a JD sandwich.
That's
Nice,
really
you like it.
Hey, yo.
That's really messed up, bro. It's a bad place to be in.
You know, a bad place to be. All right, let me drop this bad place to be. I was coming out of the elevator today, and I don't care what anybody thinks. Even when you're alone in the elevator, you're not safe. You're not safe, okay, to do what you want to do. So I'm in the elevator coming down 6 flights and get to the first floor, and I'm like, coast is clear, baby. I can take care of this. But coming right around the corner from the elevator is, you know, a young lady with her 2 pups. And thing is, I had let one rip in the elevator, thinking I was safe. You know, I was alone.
The pups knew they weren't safe.
Oh man, it was the pups that made the, you know, they're going in, and as I'm walking away, I hear like, fuck, those little bastards gave me away.
Yeah.
I felt bad for them because, you know, they weren't puppies, they weren't big dogs, right? But they were full grown, you know, that mid-sized one. You know what I'm saying?
What were they? Chihuahuas, Pomeranians,
some sort of mixed breed. But what they were was nose level to
they were disgusted, is what they were.
To the fumes that were impacting them as they walked into the place. I felt bad, you know, so I hustled out there. I was just like, I feel bad too because I know the young lady, and I mean, next time she sees me, she's gonna be like, "This is the motherfucker."
You can't go back there, Jay.
Listen, a wise man once told me, it's better to lose a friend than bust a gut.
And if they don't let you do it, they probably weren't your friend in the first place.
You know what? The wise friend should have told you that once you hit the mid-40s, the odds are no longer in your favor. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful for what's coming out of the backside. You know, and I mean, you could be on like a clean stomach, but who knows? Who knows what's in there? What's been hanging around in the old track for a few days?
Well, that has devolved.
Seriously, like quickly too. Like, oh, we're here to talk about comics.
Escalated.
like what kind of shitty conversation are you gentlemen having?
let me bring this back, right? When do you guys read your comic books? I do it when I'm on the throne. No,
that's probably the best time to get some reading done.
Right. That's like the undisturbed office.
For me, it's more the time downtime at work, right? So we both commute, so it's not like we can do it while we commute. That was back in the day. You know, you're taking the train 45 minutes to work or whatever. Right. Now it's where can I find some free time? And for me, it's, you know, lunchtime at work. or taking a break here or there. That's the good thing about that medium too, is you can kind of pop in, read a few pages, and pop back out. Can't really do that with like a TV episode. Like, let me watch 5 minutes of a TV episode. You know,
you could if it has commercial breaks and you pause it.
Oh no, yeah. What are you watching that still has commercial breaks?
Stuff on
MMA.
that. Yeah, MMA. No, stuff that I didn't record on the
I read in
DVR.
between rounds. Yeah,
on all those pluses that
All
you're
the pluses, right? See, but if you're not paying for the plus, you get popped with the ads.
or YouTube, yeah, the YouTube ads, all that stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Where do you read your books, Calderon?
usually, I'm usually in bed by 2, and I'm
In the afternoon?
reading till about 3
In the afternoon?
for about an hour.
Yeah,
In the afternoon? 2 in the afternoon?
2 a.m.
God
about the time you wake up.
Yeah. About 3:30, I'm getting up. I'm starting to get ready, you know.
rough.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, take a shower, all that other stuff.
Fuck that.
Yeah. No. And dude, you know what's funny? On the days off of the day job, I'm still getting up that early because that's like
your circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
Hey, your circadian rhythm's already set, man. I mean, once you do that for long, I mean, you've been doing it for at least 10 years?
Just about, yeah.
So you're set. You're like your rhythm is set.
You can try and sleep in, but you're not going more than half hour.
No,
Yeah.
Exactly.
No way. But listen, before we gave Calderon the the step in, let me ask, dude. We were talking about fandom, right? And fandom overload. With all the comic books, movies, TV shows, video games, and all of the podcasts and live streams that are out there speculating and dropping rumors or just like even doing trailer breakdowns. Do you think there's way too much going on?
I mean, sure. But the thing is, when are we? I mean, as individuals, we have to make the decision to focus on what we focus on.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I don't play video games. Right. So I don't listen to any podcasts about video games. Right.
Okay.
I watch MMA. Right. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts about MMA. I stopped doing that because I'm more interested in listening to podcasts about comics and that sort of thing. Where the hell the rest of you guys go? What the hell? Why am I up here by myself?
I'm trying to figure out with the dashboard. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I'm giving you the one shot. I'm giving you the single. Right.
But that's what it is though. It's like, so it depends what I'm interested in comics. That's what I stick with. So I read comics. On occasion, I'll read a novel. Read that sort of thing. But that's my main focus. That's my main goal. I mean, like, I like toys, but it's tangential. It's something. It's an add-on for me. It's not something I'm that is interested or that serious about. I'm not even interested in the collectability of comics, right? Because you got a lot of guys. Oh, it's slab 9.8 and blah 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 blah, and it's just like whatever. I just don't care. About that sort of thing.
Them, right? You consume them. That's a lot of these things are for us to consume and to enjoy.
Yeah. And the other thing is a lot of those books they talk about, I bought those books off the rack. So it doesn't mean anything to me. I see those books, the first appearance of, Deadpool, right?
Okay.
I had that book. I sold that book. But I bought it for 50 cents. It doesn't mean anything.
Really?
Yeah, I bought it off the rack. Brand new.
I bought it off the rack too. I didn't buy it for 50 cents.
Well, whatever the cover price was, $1.50, $2.
No, I don't. I think they were $1. I think they were $1 at that point.
Whatever it was. I mean, $1, whatever. It doesn't matter. I went.
You got a discount, remember?
Right. Well, and here's the funny thing about it. Like, you can, like, I came in when books were 50 cents. They were just getting out of 40 cents.
Okay.
And they were just getting into 50 cents. And then my friend, who's 6 years older than me, he was at 35 cents for the longest time.
Jesus
and
Christ.
I think like he just missed like a quart or something like that. So
I came in when they were at 60 cents
Mm.
on the rack.
Right.
So I remember that Beta Ray Bill,
True
Thor.
that. I had all of those. I had 4 or 5 of them. I had them signed by Walter Simonson. Lost them in a flood.
Shoot.
Yep.
Jesus,
Sucked ass. Sucked ass.
Jesus, buddy.
Is that when you gave up on the collectability, or was it just never really your thing?
Yeah. That's when I gave up on floppies
Okay.
in general, because now I just collect hardcovers and trades. If I get once in a blue moon, I'll pick up. Well, I pick up floppies for some independents, because the indies. Those are the times I usually pick them up. But if it's like a Marvel or DC book, man, I don't know.
Joe goes
Like,
back.
yeah,
Joe goes
I
back.
just
12
I
cents.
have no interest. I have no real interest.
Well,
but if it's an indie book, I'll do it. Mhm.
All right. What? How much was the first comic book? What was the cover price on the first comic book you picked up, Ryan?
No idea. Maybe it must have been 2 something.
He's a baby. He's such a young lad. You know what I mean? He's a wee little one. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 250. And actually, it was in a pizzeria. For some reason, the pizzeria by my high school had arcade machines, had comic books, no toys, but I feel like they catered a lot to to the young nerd in me, at least.
Okay.
Now, what video games?
Arcade games. So like fighting arcade games, Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Those kinds that you could spend endless amounts of quarters in.
Listen, yeah. I go further back, like Space Invaders, Defender.
This is mid to late 90s, so yeah.
Right.
At least you didn't say Pong. You know what I mean, bro? At least you didn't say Pong.
That was at home. That's the one we had at home.
I remember when I was in college, there was the pizzeria right across the street from the college. The bookstore sold comic books, but the pizzeria had the Street Fighter and the Marvel vs. Capcom games. And this one motherfucker, oh my God, would piss me the fuck off, right? Because he would play the game like this nonchalant, fucking arrogant son of a bitch, and he never played holding the controller with his fingers on the 2 buttons. He was always, the backhand was dipping on the controller. And then when he wanted to hit, he flipped the left over and just tap on the buttons.
He was skilled.
Son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. He was doing it with Fei Long. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
I don't ever remember meeting you that young.
Yeah. Those are the good old days of those arcade cabinets. I think they also, now that I think about it, they used to rotate a lot, because if I was only there for about 6 years, they also had Darkstalkers, had the X-Men versus Marvel, the Street Fighter versus Marvel ones. What were those? X-Men versus Street Fighter. A few different Mortal Kombats. So yeah, he must have probably every 6 months or so was rotating them out.
Yeah. No, there's a place in Jersey that the guy has a hell of a bunch of cabinets, right? And every weekend he does different tournaments, and he keeps his leaderboards up there and dry erase board. So he's building a nice little community about that, right? Around that. But then it goes back to the question I have for the night, right? With all of the geek shit we got going out, like Joe's saying, he's doing this since 1968, right? He's involved in these geek yard elements. Back then, they didn't have Spider-Man and the Hulk on TV shows, right? That didn't come out till the 70s. And then Wonder Woman, Shazam, ISIS.
He had Superman.
He had Superman. That's right. He had Superman. He had and he had the Adam West. He had Batman, right? But that's it, right? They were very tongue in cheek, or whatever serials were still replaying. And not knocking it, I like a lot of these serials, whether they were the Max Fleischer Superman cartoons or like the Flash Gordon black and white bits. But again, it was few and far between. Now we have everything coming out every day, and again, everyone else breaking it down, right? So what is part of your criteria when it comes to, all right, this is what's on the top of my list, right? This is what I'm gonna watch. This is what I want to watch adjacent to, and then everything else, well, I got no problem being spoiled for. Maybe that's the better question. What is at the top of your don't spoil for me list? And then everything else, okay, will come as it comes.
For me, probably the Game of Thrones stuff, right? Well, I know that's one that, like I said last week, that's kind of event television, so that you don't want that spoiled for you on a weekly basis. If you can't get to watch it, you just got to stay off the internet, stop talking to people. Aside from that, if it's stuff that I'm not familiar with, like we also talked about the Moon Knight, the She-Hulk, things like that I wouldn't have known if you were telling me the truth or not. There's one thing that JD loves to do is he'll come in and be like, "Hey, did you see that such and such was on this show this week?" And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" I have no idea.
I'll do it like, the Black Adam movie that just came out. Who knew Chris Evans was going to reprise his role as Captain America in the flick?
Yeah.
Nobody knew that.
Yeah.
But he showed up, and that was fucking amazing.
That's the thumbnail for the YouTube live stream. but stuff
That
like
was
that. Stuff like
See,
that I have no invested interest in.
It would have been better if you said if Keanu Reeves reprised John Constantine in the movie.
Oh.
That would have been better.
Well, they're working on that too, right?
Constantine or
Yeah.
Constantine?
Constantine. I think he says it in the movie, doesn't he?
Well, the thing is like it probably depends which side of the pond you're on, right? So here it's probably Constantine, and over there it's probably Constantine.
Tomato.
I forget
Tomato,
that.
tomato,
Right.
exactly.
Like I know the Brits spell color with the letter U.
Couleur.
Yes. So you know what?
Just like advertisement.
And see, but that's just a pompous New York advertisement way of saying it.
No,
Advertisement.
that's how the Brits pronounce it. Advertisement.
Really?
Aluminium.
Yeah, they add an extra letter up in there. It's not even just a different pronunciation.
Yeah. Forget about. I interviewed a guy once, and he said macabre, right? And I was like, "What in the fuck are you talking about, sir? You mean macabre?" And he was like, "No, macabre." He looked at me like I was an idiot. I looked at him like he was an idiot, and I was like, "You know what? Whatever. We'll let this one."
I'll be honest. There's certain things that I pronounce that I've never heard been pronounced before, and I'll say them to my fiance, and she'll be like, "Yeah, I don't think that's how it's pronounced." So for years, I've been calling the name of this company, this jacket company, Barbour, because it's BARBOUR, right? Just like color, right? Whatever.
Like
so
yellow.
she goes, I heard the name of it on a TV show, and you're wrong. I'm like, no, that 100%. I had a customer whose last name had the same exact spelling. I said, yeah, that's my favorite jacket, Barbour jackets. She's like, yeah, okay. Nothing. I was completely wrong. It's Bobber, just Bobber. Just completely wrong. How about the red bottom shoes? How do you pronounce that? You know the name of that designer?
I don't know. Listen, that Louis Vuitton,
Louboutin.
I don't know.
Louis
You know
Vuitton,
what? What, dude? I'm a New Yorker. I even say Anthony my way, Anthony. You know what I mean? That's how you say it out here. I got a cousin. It's Anthony. That's what it is, bro.
But macabre is how they pronounce it in Britain.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, macabre is how we pronounce it.
When they say herbs,
right?
Exactly. There's a fucking H in it. Like what is it that they do in Family Guy? Will Wheaton.
Yeah. The why am I saying it what way? Why are you saying it that way? Why am I?
That's all part of geekdom. Look at it. We're referencing how many things in fucking geekdom. Even fashion. I don't care. Fashion is a form of fandom and geekdom. The way, whether they put money into it, whether they're making big money magazines and big deals about it, guess what? It's still a devout following that is behind it, that they're evangelizing for it on their streams to their friends, and just like branding it and wearing it when they're out there. Shit, look at and another one. What's his name? And another one. What? Oh my god. DJ Khaled, right? Who actually pronounced DJ Khaled. Hey, I don't know, I was wrong. But it was DJ Khaled, right? And And what's up, Eric? Who's doing? And he takes fashion items legit off the rack, like scarves or whatever, and he fucking takes them to his tailor and makes a whole brand new suit for out of it. That's fandom. That's branding. You can't do that with comic books, but I mean, you can't make a suit
out of some panels, right?
But no, dude. Look, I remember when John Leguizamo did a tour of his house, right? He had his bathroom wallpapered with old comic books.
Nice.
It's fandom. It's out there. Whatever it is. Shit, even religion and politics. It's fandom.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of we talked about this a while back, not on a podcast or anything, but we were talking about how the definitions between geeks and nerds, right? So geeks, it's more stuff that you can get really excited about, and just about anything you can get really excited about, you can geek out about. So geekdom has just been kind of reserved for the things that we're talking about here, because that's the kind of media or industry that we pour a lot of excitement into, and we're very vocal about. We're on the internet about it. We're creating the sites. We're doing the breakdowns, things like that. You don't necessarily see that same kind of enthusiasm put into, like, the breakdown of a fashion garment. You know what I mean? Like, it can be done, but these kinds of things are the ones that generally get that kind of enthusiasm.
I think Calderon's better half, and I mean that 100% better half, is referred to the geeks as in the old circus entertainers, right? Because that's what they used to be known as, freaks and geeks.
Right.
And I don't know. I think for us, it kind of came from that, eek moment. It was, eek, translated into forms of cinema. And then you throw the geek in there because nerd is not marketable. Geek is.
Yeah, nerd is more about the intellect, right? The intellectual.
Is it?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, if you're good at math, you're a nerd, or like you're good at chess, you're a nerd.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So a geek is a dumb nerd.
No, not necessarily.
No.
Just crossover.
Fan.
Yeah.
Okay. So why not fan geek or I mean, there's fan girl, so why not fan geek?
There's also fanboy.
Right. You know what? I'll shut my mouth. I'm sorry. Keep going. Keep going. You know what? All right. Well, for all the fanboys and fangirls that have been supporting the Vicky Sticks campaign on Kickstarter right now, I've been doing something where we have been randomly giving away certain prizes. And today will be no different. Today, we will be giving out a prize, which is almost similar to what we gave out last week, with the exception of we're giving away a shot glass instead of enamel pins with the whole set. And once again, I will say to Calderon, you know what? I will never bite your head off for your production issues ever, buddy. Okay?
Okay.
I get it. I get it. Okay? 100% I get it. So let me just show everybody before we go into the random generator what we got rocking and rolling here. So this is the prize pack, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be given away 3 times today. And that is the Unstoppable Comics shot glass, a copy of summon a bitch. A copy of New York versus the World #1 and a New York versus the World t-shirt. This will be added to the rewards of 3 lucky backers at no extra charge. So they're not paying more money for their shipping, and they're not paying more money to get this, right? This is a prize, and it's a $35 value for the evening. So we're going to take a look at how many people have backed the campaign so far. And the magic number for today is oh, son of a bitch.
Great. Type it in, but hit the little eyeball so we can all see the numbers.
Oh, I will never fucking make fun of you again on any of your goddamn streams, bro. Shit. Okay, so the lucky number for today is 105 total backers. So even though there's 101 on the board, we have had 105 backers, and we're gonna set up our random number generator to go to that very number. Okay. So out of 105 total backers, we're going to head over to the random number generator, which is set, as we see here, from 1 to 105. All right, folks? And the lucky winner for the first of 3 prize packs this evening in our backers is number 10. Lucky number 10, ladies and gentlemen. Lucky number 10. All right. God damn, I really need a fucking producer for this. That's what I need. You're right. I need a producer to have all of the stuff ready, clicking and going. So we're going to go back here to the campaign, and we're going to find out who lucky number 10 is. All right. So we're going to hit that over. No.
Good. Yeah, you got it. Last. Oh, no. There's only one on the last page.
Yeah. Lucky number 10, Ron Brooks. Mr. Ron Brooks. All right, Ron Brooks, I want to thank you for backing us today, brother. You will be receiving the prize pack of 1 extra t-shirt, 1 extra comic book, and a shot glass, again, at no extra charge, Ron. All right, and if you're not watching, don't worry about it. I will let you know in the updates for the Vicky Stick campaign. So, yeah.
You got a question in the comments, Jay.
We got a question in the comments. All right, from who?
Daphne, right at the end.
Daphne, again, Calderon's better half. Okay, here, geek out over your own stuff. What made you come up with the Dead Princess Vicky sticks? Yeah, Daphne, the idea came from I was trying to fill the gaps in my catalog. I grew up loving superheroes, so that was my natural inclination to what I wanted to write. And then we did some zombie books. So when you look at what other genres are out there in the realm of comic books, you know, you don't just have the supernatural, which is what Vicky is. You also have sci-fi. You've got fantasy, and you know, one of my favorite movies growing up was Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Right? I'm going to say this right here in front of everyone. I was scared of horror movies. Right? So for me, those monsters were like my horror movies. It was like, you know, if you can't eat jalapenos anymore, you eat banana peppers, right? So that was it for me. And what is it? You find a need and you fill it. So I always loved those kind of movies. I love that supernatural, that Universal Hollywood monster style. But then I don't have any dedicated female leads in my catalog as well. I've got a female leading our team in the Storm Chasers book. I've got a young lady who co-stars in the Dragonstorm book. But there's no book that I have in the catalog where there's a singular female lead. So you mix all of that together, you put it in the blender, and Vicky Sticks comes around, right? So from there, it just came down to building something interesting, entertaining, and finding the crew around me that can help put it together. Yeah, is that good enough? Yeah, you guys, yeah, all right.
No,
Tell me, talk to me. What else do you want out of this, huh?
Everything, damn it, everything.
You want everything. So I was also watching the Poison biodoc on Netflix, and it was based on Nikki Sixx's perspective. And if you know Poison, the hair metal band, right? You remember? See, Ryan knows this because we were stuck in Airbnb during C2E2, and the previous Airbnb guests had left their Netflix account on the TV. So we're like, wow. None of us were going to put in our code, right? So we were watching that, and it was told from Nikki Sixx's perspective. So that name always, again, rang with me. I love the way it rolled off the tongue, but I obviously cannot use Nikki Sixx. So Vicky is short for Victoria, which is a playoff of, or the feminine version of Victor, who was Victor Frankenstein, the creator of the form of monster Vicky falls under. And then you've got Styx, as in the river Styx from Greek mythology, right? The border between the land of the living and the underworld. But then there was also something to the river Styx where the goddess who protected the river, or the marshland where it ended up, was known as Styx. And anyone who bathed in those waters were granted unique abilities. So that also plays into the character of Vicky Styx, where she is a sort of guardian of those creatures that go bump in the night. She is a protector. She does stand with 1 foot in the land of the living and 1 foot in the land of the dead. And when you go even further into that last part where I was talking about the goddess who is the guardian, there are certain unique powers that she does have. And that's something that's also going to be explained within the series. So it's a little bit of world building, but then it's also a little bit of, as I'm building the world, what can I plug in? What works? And that's where we came up with the issue.
Okay. All right. We'll accept that this one time.
Drip King. Can't wait to know what she's about. I think I gave a lot right there, Drip King. I'm trying not to give away too much because
they come for the book, Jay.
Buy the book.
Exactly.
I want other people to buy the book as well. And I'm really psyched at the way this turned out. Again, it's our first female lead. Definitely an anti-hero. Definitely somebody who does not want to be in the position of being a protector of the creatures that go bumping.
A reluctant hero.
Very, very reluctant hero. But she does things that are not heroic. So
anti-hero.
There you go.
Reluctant anti-hero.
There you go. Mm-hmm. And that's it. So yeah. So again, this is one of the other things that I hope people find a way to wedge into their world of fandom and geekdom.
To straight up answer your question, there is too much. There is too much to watch. Too much.
That's what you're going to say. There was too much of what I said.
No. That was good. That was good. I know, going back to some of the things that you can kind of draw influence from. How do you find it? And this is just me, trying to pick your guys' brains, because you're more of the creative types. How do you? Obviously, things have influence on you, but as you're writing a book, as you're creating a character, how do you avoid the pitfalls of basically putting too much of something you're currently watching or enjoying into what you're creating? Like, if I were to start writing something and I'm engrossed in a binge watch of Game of Thrones, for instance, how do I avoid putting basically Game of Thrones into my book? What do you guys normally do? Do you have something that you kind of make sure you stay away from specific details, or do you just say, hey, you know what, this is an influence, and if people like it, they'll see that influence in there, they'll see maybe an homage that you do? How do you avoid those kinds of pitfalls, if you even try to avoid them?
I will let JD start this off.
Are you okay, Jay?
Yeah, I'm having fun playing with the dashboard, dude.
Could you put it back so I can see everybody? Does it feel like I'm talking to myself?
Dude, I want to give you the one shot. I want to give you the seat of power. You know what I mean? I want you to have fun. Yeah, speaking all by yourself. Yeah,
Right.
you know. They
Okay.
can
So
make you feel important.
all right. So maybe I can answer the question. How's that sound?
Son
All
of
right. So look, what for myself, what I actually like doing is I just consume a lot of material, right? So read a lot of books, consume a lot of television, a lot of movies, so on and so forth, right? You mix in with that books on anything, right? Like history, science, whatever, right? And then you just consume as much of it as you can. That all goes into the brain pan somewhere, right? And when you hopefully exhale, right? You are putting out something that's some weird form of amalgamation that goes through your filter, and is hopefully something unique, right? Or unique enough, right? Like it's funny. I just recently watched Cat's Eye, right? The movie.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, I just like I just watched it over the last 2 days. I watched the first.
Very nice.
Yes. Now I sat there and I laughed because I was like, "Wow, I completely ripped off this movie, right?" Without realizing it, right? And it's just really, really funny. Sometimes, like the last time I saw that movie was maybe like 6, 7 years ago, maybe more. And then before that, it was probably 15 or 20 years, right? The story I wrote was maybe like 10 years ago, maybe 12. So before that point, yeah, probably about 8 or 9 years before I'd see like the last time I'd seen that movie. So that's the thing. You're not gonna even know you're ripping anything off, right?
Yeah, that's why I remember. It's like, how do it seems kind of impossible for you to avoid those kinds of things. I mean,
right. Well, Jay has his favorite line. There's only how many story types, Jay?
There's actually 37, and you said there's 38. There's 37 thematic narratives out there, right? It goes beyond
I'm telling you, there's 38.
Man versus nature. Okay, so if there's 38, show me. No problem. I'm with it. I'm not saying no. But hold on. Before we go any further,
give us 5.
We got another homie popping up over here right now. And Sam, what is up? Introduce yourself to everybody who's hanging with us tonight, man.
Que pasa, muchacha? What's up? I'm Sam, the Crazy Man, host of Catch the Critters podcast, and indie comic creator in his house. What's up?
Another Puerto Rican that doesn't know how to speak Spanish.
Listen, I resemble that remark, so watch out.
We know.
3 o'clock after school.
Pero coño, malo, ¿de qué tú hablas? Sorry.
That's sad that you just had to make like gorilla noises to fill in.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude,
no.
Listen, you knew Bushwick in the 80s. Okay?
Yes.
You tell me that was not one of the guys coming out of the corner store with that fifth in his back pocket, right? Asking you where your uncle or your aunt is. Tell me that's never happened to you, bro. All right?
Okay.
It's got that little show. That's happened to me a fucking million times, bro.
The thing is they were even more articulate, even on the fifth.
And that's on a half a glass of beer that he's had there.
Right.
But listen, Sam, now that you're in, it's a great time for you to answer this question. And Ryan wanted to know
forgot my question.
To make it short, how do you get your influences tossed into the blender and going into what to create?
Jay, hold on. Can I just say it's really rude. I didn't finish answering the question.
Sorry,
say, bro.
Hold on a second. Let me hit you with another language, okay, that I do know. Pardonnez-moi, monsieur. Okay. Pardonnez-moi, monsieur. Okay.
How about this? Mételo por el
culo. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
JD said to JD, mush. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, finish, bitch. You heard that?
I was.
He said, finish, bitch. Or let me say it in Spanish for you. Finish puto.
No, mira, maricona. No hable así.
Gona. Wow.
Maricona.
Wow.
Oh man, we have a fun, baby. I love
There we go.
this.
No.
Hold on a
No,
second.
I mean, what?
I want to say something. Excuse me. I want to put up a comment here. Okay. I'm from the mother country and can't speak Spanish.
There you go.
Okay. In all caps, yelling at her husband. All right. I'm sorry to go back to Ryan's question, right? How do your influences influence what you write?
Is this JD or me?
No, you, Sam.
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
Influence
Go for
what I write?
Right? Is that it?
Yeah, essentially. I was trying to kind of figure out how you avoid, like JD was saying, ripping something off while you're trying to create something. You're consuming something else, and you don't, just straight up copy something. Like you said, like he said, it's kind of sometimes it comes off as an accident. It's sitting inside your subconscious. There's nothing you can really do about that. But if you just, let's say you notice that you're ripping something off, or your influences are influencing your work a little too much, like what do you do about that? How do you avoid that?
I've never really thought about it because my influences are either dead or because it was from when I was a kid. So a lot of the things, I think a lot of the comedic stuff that I write comes from the stuff that influenced me as a kid. And with regards to There's Anything on My Toilet. So I was a big fan of Looney Tunes and Alf, Fraggle Rock, all these things as a kid growing up. And so that's where that comes from. So I think subconsciously, because that's what made me smile, I tend to capture those highlighted moments when I was a kid in my creation.
Yeah.
With Forbidden, it was a fantasy series that just wrote itself. I wasn't a big fantasy reader. I loved Conan, but Forbidden is nothing like Conan. And I was always curious about, could people live underground? I was always curious, what if there was a society that lived underground that were primitive and they didn't evolve like we did? And what would that look like? And so I think most of my influences are artists. So where my early days of drawing was, I was trying to be Mark Silvestri. I was trying to be Jim Lee. I was trying to draw like Todd McFarlane, and I realized I can never be that. So I needed to find my own voice. After the 100th rejection letter, I realized, Sam, you can never be this. You need to go and find your own path. And then I just worked on it. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I know. I feel like I'm the one out of the four in these windows here that has not created a comic, and I feel like if I were, imagine just watching something as good as, I don't know, anything that's out right now, watching one of these Marvel shows or something, and you're like, God damn, I wish I had thought of that. It just seems like there's, like Daphne said, it's like inevitable that you're going to be able to come up with something that's gonna resemble something else. So just kind of roll with it.
I think as a creator, I think we have to target not creating. For myself, all right, like I don't look at something like I wish I created something like that.
Right.
I always look at it. I try to look at things like I'm just gonna enjoy it. Right. I just try to enjoy things and just try to move on, because the second you get into the trap of trying to make something as good as somebody else, that's a really, really bad trap to put yourself into creatively, right? There are very few Alan Moores in the world. As a matter of fact, there's only one. There's very few Neil Gaimans in the world. There's only one. Very few Warren Ellis's, Stephen King's, J.K. Rowling's. You can go down a huge list. There's only one, right? So you have to become your one, right? And, you may never achieve the fame that they achieve, right? But that doesn't mean your work is less substantial, right?
Right.
Because there's plenty of writers. Trust me, there are plenty of writers who are great writers. You never freaking heard of them. There was this one guy. There's a book called Armor, and he wrote a book called Vampires or Vampire, which they made a movie out of. The movie was horrible, but the book is excellent. It's the same guy who did a famous director, the guy who did
Carpenter.
Big Trouble. Carpenter.
Yes,
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
That movie was terrible.
James that he was
Woods?
in Family Guy. That he James Woods. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, terrible movie.
That the main vampire was the guy that was in Karate Kid right now.
Yeah, terrible movie. Terrible movie. Great novel. Great novel. And he wrote another novel called Armor, also great novel. But he primarily worked as a ghostwriter for other authors. And it's funny because I went looking for him probably about a year ago. And of course, he passed away like 10 years ago. I read those books like 20 years ago. Yeah. So, it's unfortunate, and this guy worked as a ghostwriter for most of his career. And he kept busy in that, and he was highly paid. Why? Because he worked for, other super successful authors who had names, right? Mm-hmm. And he worked under their name, and that was it. And he obviously made a lot of money. He only released these 2 books, which was a damn shame. And the guy was an excellent writer. But nobody knows who the fuck he is.
They made a series of movies out of the vampires, though. You know that, right? There was that. Yeah. The Vampires was a trilogy.
All bad. All 3 bad.
Yeah.
Because the first one was fucking trash.
It was.
And I'm a huge Carpenter fan. I love, Big Trouble in Little China, The Thing. I could watch. You know what? I'll probably watch it right after this.
But I mean, look, there's an opposite side to your coin too, though, Ryan. Right? And there's people who make a living just homaging what's been done before that, right? And it's their interpretation. We talked about this on JD's show last week, and one of the things that people kept bringing up was they were tired of homage covers. There are certain covers that are always replicated with whatever
they're iconic,
right? And it is iconic, and it goes back to the source material. But people make bank on that, right? And it's not just that; it's also certain type of story tropes. I want to talk about. We're talking about vampire movies. There's the 3rd movie in Dusk Till Dawn. I don't know if you guys saw that one.
Yeah,
it was the origin story of the Salma Hayek character, right? Mm-hmm. And it was following a cowboy who was, at the noose, and right before they pulled the lever to the gallows, right? He went on this adventure, and he ended up in the temple where Satanic Pandemonia was at, and whatever. He lived this whole story, right? And just as he was about to die in the movie, quick flash, and it goes to the pulling the lever at the gallows, and then him falling and his neck breaking. That's a trope that has been done.
Spoiler! Shit.
Right?
Just your eye, your life flashing before your eyes.
Your life flashing before your eyes. But it's been done with that. It's been done with people in front of a firing squad. It's always at that moment, right?
Here's a trope for you.
Go ahead.
Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
School of Magical Kids, right? Yes. If you look at the Japanese, they love this particular trope. School of Assassins, School of Fighters, School of Ninjas, School of this, School of that. I mean, they just all over the place with them. Right. They love it. Right. Because they're targeting a market.
Yes.
That's where they're at. They're in school.
How about prior to the Scarlett Johansson Black Widow movie? How many of those Red Room female Russian sleeper spy movies were done in that time of Avengers 1 coming out, with that introduced Black Widow, to the time she got a movie? I want to say maybe 4 or 5 movies, right? Salt, Red Sparrow, was it Atomic Blonde? But Atomic Blonde was
Atomic Blonde,
right? But there was something else besides Red Sparrow. Red Sparrow was with the lady from Hunger Games. There was another one where a model was the same thing, and it's a trope, right? It's done that, and that's one of the things that kind of pissed me off when it went to the whole reason why Black Widow never got a movie. Oh, that'll never sell. But they've done 4 movies prior to it, right?
You already had her movie. It wasn't hers. It was somebody else doing it.
It was somebody else's. It was somebody else. So it's like there are things that you embrace the influences, and there are you try to stay as far away from it as possible. You know. And that's it. Here we go. From Daphne. The real tired Harry Potter trope, loser kid turns out to be the chosen one.
Don't talk about Luke Skywalker like that.
But Daphne, if that was the case, then wouldn't it have been Neville Longbottom? Because he was the loser out of all of that, right? I'm sorry. Harry Potter, it was an orphan, but he had a ton of cash. A ton of fucking cash. He wasn't
true. That kid was loaded.
Those rich kids becomes the hero, like Batman. Gotcha.
Like Batman, like Tony Stark. Another trope. Look at that. Oh my God. And
just littered with them.
Right. So how do you navigate that within fandom? Right. Sam, before you came on, we were talking about this, and it's like, how do you vet everything that's out there and say, okay, this is at the top of my no spoiler list. This is the must see thing. This is what I have to watch. The other stuff, I'll take it in due time. But these are the things that I prioritize with everything that's out there. Is it the video games? Is it the movies? Is it the books? Is it the shows?
For me, it's art of books. That I love. I'd rather spend all day going through an artist's art book that I love and admire than sitting down watching a movie. That's just me, because I've always find inspiration by looking at other people's process. That's why I love people online drawing. I'll sit in and I'll watch like Jake Parker or whatever it is. It's because I just want to get into their mind and hear and see their process. For me, movies, I usually catch it at night, 11 o'clock at night, and I probably get the first 45 minutes and I'm out. And I'm knocked out.
We were talking about that last week, yeah.
Yes, but like Lord of the Rings, when they decided to bring back the series on Amazon, I was like, yeah, I got to be there. Like The Witcher, when they come up with the next one, I'll be there for that. Like there's certain things that I will like prioritize. Like John Wick, when that comes out, this is all me. That's all me. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's certain things. But from a creative standpoint, I mean, I love art of books. I collect them all the time. And I'm making it a mission now. If there's an artist out there that I know that's going to be at an event and they have a book that I've wanted, I'm going to go and get it directly from them instead of buying it at a store. Because I want to let them know, your work is inspiring. I love it, blah, blah, blah. It's one of the things I didn't do in my early life. I used to just focus on just trying to stay at my table and just run my business. And I never really networked. Now I'm branching out, and I'll get somebody to watch my table, and I'll go out there and I have like a hit list and I say, I want to just, give them the flowers. I love what you do. It inspires me, blah, blah, blah. This is why, blah, blah, blah. I want a selfie. Boom. I'm going to be a fanboy for a second and keep it pushing.
So can I ask?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Can I? So who these days are you looking at? Like who's like on top of your list?
Well, I met Ben Bender, who did The Littlest Viking.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen his stuff. It was on Kickstarter. I missed the Kickstarter, and so I was like, I got to go after this guy. His style is similar to Calvin and Hobbes. Jake Parker, if I ever see him at an event, he's on my list. What's his name? Crunkle, Mark Crunkle. He's on my list. Jeff Smith, Bone, he's on my list. Mike Kunkel is the one who did Hero Bear and the Kid.
Right.
Okay.
He also did Ham and Eggs. I just picked it up on Kickstarter. He just did Ham and Eggs on Kickstarter. If I see him, and these are the guys. Todd McFarlane. He's always been on my list, and I somehow we're like two ships that passing in the night. But if I ever see him at a con, I don't care what the hell is going on. I'm gonna get that man. And
I think he was there the last 3 times you were there, right?
Yeah, I know. I just wasn't any of them. I don't have JD Rosario money. So
neither does JD Rosario. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, so
God bless you.
Those are and if Stephen Platt ever decides to come back into comics or at an event, I definitely got to get, because I have all Stephen Platt stuff, and I loved what he did with Soul Saga. Soul Saga, I think, was his best work in comics.
I got his Moon Knight 55.
I got all his Moon Knights signed.
Oh yeah, no, I picked it up right.
True story. This is how I got the Moon Knight. It was back in the days. Remember St. Mark's Comics in the village?
Yeah.
They were having a midnight sale, right? And I was
nice.
I was a security guard at the time, and my boy, rest in peace, Robert Garrett, Exmoor Studios. He did Galtow. Well, Robert Garrett, he's like, yo, he worked in stock. And
Wait a second. I'm sorry. He passed away?
Yeah, he passed away a couple years ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Shout out to Robert. He and I broke into comics together.
Damn.
And so he's like, hey, they're having a sale. You want to go? I said, sure. So after work, we got on the train. We went down there. And so I'm going through the long boxes. I'm digging into crates. And I see Moon Knight by Stephen Platt, Moon Knight, every issue. And it's signed. And it's $1. It's red tagged $1. I was like, what? I said, someone screwed up, and it's bagged and boarded, right? So I went straight to the counter. I was like, Dom. The guy rings it up. The manager comes over. He goes, wait, that's a mistake. I said, your mistake, my game. Peace out. I'm out.
Yeah.
I was like, boom, grab that. He's like, check the boxes. You hear them? You hear him say, check the box. So someone must have took it off a wall or something and dumped them in. Oh man! And I never opened them. I left them in there. I still got them in my long boxes.
They're not at St. Mark's anymore. They're in Industry City in Brooklyn now. It's a bigger space, just as hard to get to. But he opened up right after closing that spot. He was in that spot for, I don't know, maybe 30 years, something like that.
Yeah, he was there for a long time.
Right,
Yeah.
and then there was 2 years that he wasn't, and then he showed up in Industry City.
Yeah, I used to do continuing ed at Cooper Union, and I used to go to St. Mark's on my way to school.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, dude.
Oh, the dogs are trying to get on my lap, Daphne. They're on the floor that they all want to, and if I pick up one, I got to pick them all. So I was like, nah, you guys got to chill.
And mine's storing up a storm over here.
Yeah, I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing. I
got Battle Cat.
He's
got Battle Cat. I see Battle Cat and He-Man.
You see Battle Cat? Yeah, man. Yo, Battle Cat. I got the one from the new whatchamacallit, Revelations, the Kevin Smith Battle Cat. And then I got the old 82 one up in the back. You know?
Kevin Smith was supposed to do Sam and Twitch on the BBC. That didn't happen.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they announced it. There was a whole big press release. It was all over Newsarama, everything. He was interviewed. And then I was like, damn it. It just fell through.
Yeah.
Might have something to do with lack of talent.
You don't like Mallrats and Clerks? James Silent Bob?
What?
You don't like James Silent Bob?
Who?
Don't hate, baby. Don't hate.
Listen, he's done. I did like Mallrat. Well, no, it was the first, like his first 2 or 3 movies I enjoyed.
Smoochy Woochie Gabarucci.
His first 2 or 3 movies I enjoyed.
I was dating a young lady
Chasing Amy
when that came out. Right, I did not know what it was about, but I had no interest in Joey Lauren Adams. And the young lady I was with at the time was like, "Oh, we got to go see it. We got to go see it." And I'm like, "I don't want to see this movie." I had no interest in seeing this movie. And then years later, I ended up seeing the one that he had Matt Damon and I was gonna say Vince Vaughn. What's his name? They were angels.
Oh,
yes.
Matt Damon. What's his face?
John Leguizamo was in it.
He was?
Yes, it was like angels and demons. It was like an opera type thing.
No, it was a Kevin Smith flick.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
it
saying
was
was it?
I enjoyed that film too.
I
But
like that one.
Matt Damon was one of them.
Right.
It had
Dogma
was
they're
it?
playing in the chat.
Dogma. There you
Dogma.
go.
Dogma. There you
There
go.
you go.
Dogma. Yes. Dogma came out. I was working at the airport and I really liked Dogma, right? She finally convinced me to go see the Kevin Smith flick. So all right, I saw Dogma and then I saw Chasing Amy. I'm like, oh, this is about comic books. I like this shit, you know? But whatever. You know, I also saw Tusk. So it's like I gotta
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Did you see his Green Lantern movie? No, excuse me, Green Hornet.
I did. I liked the Green Hornet movie.
You did?
I did. It wasn't great. I'll tell you that. And I know it wasn't great, but I liked it. I liked it.
That's good. That's good.
I've seen worse flicks. You know what I'm saying? I've seen The Hills Have Eyes 2. The remake of 2. Not the original Hills Have Eyes 2. I saw the remake of that. That was shit, bro.
So you're telling me if I have a bad meal, I'm supposed to be like, oh, I had a worse one in the past? What the fuck type of logic is that?
Yeah.
No.
Listen,
you push it.
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse, right?
Yeah,
it could have been worse.
So
right. How about it could be better?
Yeah.
Here is an example of somebody with, you know, who's got too much fandom, right? He went to go see it, and it just like, right? Oh, here we go. We got William.
Oh, Seth Rogen. Oh, okay.
That's Dogma. Yes, and Green Hornet was with Seth Rogen. Yes, Seth Rogen and a very underutilized bad guy from oh my god, the Inglourious Bastards. What's his name? The Nazi.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Don't ask me to pronounce his name, but yeah. Excellent actor.
They have another
I know you know who he is, William. I know you know who he is. I don't remember his name right now. He also did right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What's that series that Stallone's producing with all the 80s action heroes?
Expendables?
Yeah, they got another one coming out.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, I enjoyed that stuff, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first 3.
He's got his show coming out. King of Tulsa, one of my homies, is going to be on the show with him. So I'm looking forward to watching that.
That man. Did you see? He has this live YouTube stream where he's selling his action figures and memorabilia.
Stallone?
Yeah, man. That stuff is expensive. I was like, damn, really? Yeah.
Well, dude, when he was at New York Comic Con, Stallone was like, I think $600 for a Saturday for an autograph session.
Jesus.
Come on, man. He made his dough and he got out. You know?
It's Rocky.
Yeah, but you know, that juice is finally catching up to him. You know, he's got like a deflated body.
Yeah, isn't he what? He's like 83 now.
He's always.
He might be in his
videos. He's always in the gym. Rocky, get out.
I guess he can still run for president.
That's how he can That's why he can get one over Schwarzenegger. Run for president.
Oh, you heard about that, right? Schwarzenegger used to convince him to do shit out of.
Yeah. They had beef.
Yeah, they had beef. But
Schwarzenegger was sneaky.
Oh, listen, Schwarzenegger knew how to market his ass.
Yes.
I mean, plain and simple, bro. He knew what he was doing. And somebody
who he's love with the maid.
Yeah, somebody I need to take a cue from because I barely know what I'm doing. Like with this current Kickstarter that I got going on for the Deadpool.
Yeah, no, bro. You know how it took me 3 weeks to get funded? It was the worst campaign of all my campaigns.
But you know, with that being said, I am raffling stuff off. Yeah, I am going to raffle some stuff off. So let's get back to this raffle here. All right.
Which raffle? The Battle Cat?
Negative. All right. So it's still preset to the 105 backers. There have not been any new backers while we are doing this live stream today. So we are going to be getting back to running this off here, and here we go. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, and stop.
Oh,
Ooh, we going almost all the way to the end here.
one of the new backers.
One of the new backers.
I think it's rigged.
No, it's not rigged at all. You said that last week. It's not fucking rigged. Goddamn, not fucking rigged. All right, so let's go find out who number 103.
What was your funding goal?
Is 3,500.
You got over 103 backers. And you still haven't reached it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I know. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Go ahead, Sam. Just tell him. Say, Jay, you suck.
You know what I'm saying?
Suck. I don't know what to say. You suck. How can you have so many people and so little cash?
What's wrong with you? Right now, okay? Beating my ice. All right, let's. Oh, we had Chuck Pinot back us. All right, shout out to Chuck. All right, so number 103. Erica Rodriguez. Erica Rodriguez has won a little bit extra for the night.
A little bit of bubble gum.
Erica Rodriguez has won an extra T-shirt, an extra copy of New York versus World #1, and an extra shot glass, all for supporting the dead princess Vicky Sticks, #1 on Kickstarter. So we're gonna have one more to give away tonight. I'm having fun doing this. It is surprising. And you know what, dude? People are getting extra shit and not having to spend extra money. So their dollars are going a little bit further. And if I could just put a little bit more smile on somebody's face, then I'm happy with that. Let's get back to some of the comments for a second. All right, Daphne says, in case you missed it, what were your expectations when you put together this campaign in the Kickstarter environment that exists right now? Wow. I don't think that's directed just at me because Calderon and Sam, you're just finishing up Kickstarters. So you guys want to take the lead on that question? Let me bring that up in case you missed it. Oh, I did miss it. So it was asked before. I'm sorry. What were your expectations when you put together this campaign in the Kickstarter environment that exists right now?
To kill it, damn it! No, so I expected this one to be easier, because it was number 3, right? And then you got, Project We Love, and I was like, oh man, it started off, and I was like, all right, it's gonna be hot. Then I realized, wait, hold on, why is it taking forever to get funded? Hey, what's going on? Hey, so everything started going south, and I just didn't understand what was happening. I did all the right things leading up to it. I promoted it for a couple of months. All my backers from the previous campaigns, the previous 2 issues, knew that it was coming. The signups were there. When I launched it, I had almost 130 already signed up, and then I had another 40 sign up during the campaign. I don't understand that logic. You go to the page and you sign up and to follow it while the campaign's live. But I had 40 new people sign up to follow it during the campaign. So I didn't understand. I was like, oh, well, maybe they're all just going to wait till the last week. But then when I'm walking away from it, I realized that what's overshadowing all ages is the adult content stuff, which is dominating Kickstarter right now. And it seems like you can't, it's like everybody, all they're doing is, just going the scantily clad route. And that's why I'm struggling. And so for me, I realized that in order for me to have a successful January Kickstarter, I need to do a lot more grassroots stuff. I need to go out there and build a community outside of Kickstarter and bring them. Like today, I have people who bought the books, and this is, when's issue 4 coming? I said, in January 3rd, can I follow you on Kickstarter? Yes, boom. And I gave him a link, boom, boom, boom. So I got to do more of that because social media is not working for me. Because, you get nothing but, 140, 60 people signing up. And I only got 60 people who actually came through.
Sam, I want to jump in because you're talking about people that follow you. So I want to show everybody out there what you're talking about. All right. And it's this little bit right here, folks. Right.
Project followers.
Your project followers. So I've got 172 people following the project. I've got 39 of those people that have backed it for a total of 22% of my project followers. And we already know that there are currently 101 backers. So are those 172 backers waiting for the end of the campaign? They're waiting to get funded? We never know. I've yet to see anybody or hear from anybody say they have converted 100% of their backers, right? Of their project followers. I've never heard about that. I've heard as high from Medina. Jorge said, he converted 37. And I think that's the highest I've ever heard. So that, I mean, do things happen? Yeah, things happen. But this, for people that don't do Kickstarter projects, this here is one of the things that all of us are trying to convert on. And
yeah,
it is.
And so yeah, that's the part. It's like and it's tough. And even like 5 people pulled out of the campaign.
Yeah.
I would have had 65 backers. 5 people pulled out, and then the last 10 minutes, somebody reduced their pledge. So it's all those risks involved. What I learned from this is, number one, I'm not compromising what I'm doing with duty. It's an old ages. I'm gonna stick to that ground. It's a long game for me. I just have to get out to more events locally, and build an audience, and build a following, and that's, and I got to figure out the online communities are not helping me. They're just peers in the industry. Everybody's doing the same thing. So for me, I'm pulling out of a lot of those communities because I'm just gonna focus on my actual pages that I manage, and because those communities take up a lot of my time, and I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to focus on actual real communities in the neighborhoods. Go to art fairs, go to the libraries, go to schools, that way, because I mean, I'm on 40 different online communities, and I've gotten nothing other than guests for Catch the Craze. So for me, it's just like, I'm no, that's, you're not going to see me posting on there anymore. So I know it's going to be a sigh of relief for some of those cats out there. Like, damn, this guy's always damn posting this motherfucker every day. I see him.
but for every 2 people that have seen you, one person hasn't, right? And you got to keep doing it for that.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm looking, because all I'm doing is promoting it to my peers, people who are doing the same thing to me. They're not actually becoming fans of my work. I'm looking for the people who are actually going to be interested in my work and my product, who don't feel like I'm trying to compete for space, who have nothing to do with this arena, but they're just fans of the art form and they want more of it. That's who I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's funny. You're bringing up something, and I remember when last time I was on the show with you and George, right? I brought up competition, and you guys were like, "No, we all got to work together." And
well, that's more George. George is the political guy.
But I understand also when you're saying you want to step out, because tomorrow I'm going to be at an Oktoberfest doing a comic book Q&A on 151st and Riverside in Manhattan, stepping out of the community that we're all involved in. So I totally get that. Calderon, what were your expectations on your last campaign?
He's like, what's the question?
Yeah, pretty much. No, I mean, listen, it's always the same thing, right? To sell as much as you can, to generate as much revenue as you can, just to keep the project running, right? That's always the main goal. Now, what Sam is talking about, what you're talking about, a lot of us are going through is like, how do we get through that glass ceiling, right? We all seem to hit it, right? We hit a glass ceiling. I was where Sam was at. Like, the glass ceiling was 1,500. All right, broke through that one, got to 2,000. Broke through that one, got to 2,500. Broke through that one at 3,000. Trying to get to, I broke 4 for a while. Now I'm trying to get to 5. And it's always trying to get through those glass ceilings, right? And then, like, where do we find, a new viewership, right? The other question that's been rolling around is Kickstarter slowing down, right? Are there less fans involved, right? You look at you know, some people argue, so oh, but there's still $100,000 campaigns, there's still this and that going on, and that's true. But let's take Common America, right? Those are the guys, Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini. Those guys had their campaign before this one, I think, made about 134,000, but it was on like 3,500 backers, right? They did their current campaign, they still made about 120, 125, but it was on like 1,000 less backers. Okay, so
there's a number of factors involved in that too, bro.
Of course there is.
People are worried about the upcoming recession, and I get that as well.
But that's what I'm saying. But is it the recession? Is it the quality of the work? I mean, it could be a whole bunch of things. You know, one factor that you always take it is this: no matter what you do, you're going to lose 10% of your backers from one campaign to the next. And it's your job to regenerate those.
You're
10.
lucky if you only lose 10.
Right. Well, I mean, again, factors. You know, we don't know what's factoring into that, but you know, it's our job to try to regenerate that 10% and then move beyond that, right? So that's the question, right? Like, how do we go out there? How do we get that signal past the noise, right? And that's why we're here, right? To discuss that question and to try to find out, you know. And we're all pushing,
100%.
right? You have some guys who have, as they say, I guess beaten the matrix, right? And have gotten to bigger numbers, right? But it's like, what are they doing? You know, Sam said something interesting. It was like, or something we've also discussed is like, you know, the adult content of many covers that we see, right? Like, you know, the bad girl comics, good girl comics, you know, that sort of thing where these guys have 14, 15 covers, beautiful covers. Half the time doesn't have anything to do with the book, or it's just a pinup, right? Of a gorgeous chick, right? Like, you know, just a good looking woman on the cover, right? And that's what's selling these books. You know, are people even cracking the books open? Are they reading the books? Right?
Yeah.
You understand? In the long run, you know, how does that help anyone, really? You know, because you're not really generating fans. You're just generating guys who just haven't found Pornhub yet. I don't know.
No, but then, you know, you got people that do flip fucking Kickstarter books. That is out there, right? They flip the
that's
books
another one.
Work on that stuff. You know, and Sam, I don't know if you know, but I talk a lot of this insider stuff with Calderon, with Ryan on a daily basis. You know, I'm with these guys maybe an hour or two at a time, and we're trying to review numbers. We're going over. We're doing the Monday morning quarterback stuff, right? We know that with this current campaign that I got, I'm a hell of a lot further ahead than I was with my last campaign, right? I didn't hit this many backers until the last 2 days. Shit, you and George said it the other day, right? You guys know I don't step up into the fourth quarter, and it was maybe 26 people I pulled out of my ass in the last 2 days, and that was great, right? This time, shit, we're about to beat that number. Financially, I'm ahead of where I was, not by much, right? So the needle is moving forward. To answer what Daphne was talking about, was asking, what was I expecting out of this campaign? 3 things. 1, the primary goal, to come up with the money to print the book, and to print all the associated merchandise, the shirts, the pins, the trading cards, right? The premium cover stock books, things that I can use to incentivize the next batch of sales, right? 2 was to recoup my expenses on the book. Unlike you, I'm not the artist, right? There's a lot of collaborators that I have, and I put out money to get this book made before the Kickstarter happened. 3 was to get the money to pre-fund the next book. Or excuse me, I've already paid half of the next book up front. So if I can finish off the next book, the other half, without having to come out of pocket, well, then we are ahead of the game, right? So those are my 3 goals. And then there's the other things, right? Smaller little sidebar factors. I have bigger ticket items coming out in the future. I need to generate that growth. I need to show myself that the tactics I'm using in this campaign could be applied and scaled up for future campaigns, right? I mean, look, I'll put it right here on Front Street. We are going to be doing the action figure next year, but that SOB is going to be costing almost $30,000, right? It's going to be 23 to get it produced, packaged, and shipped. Then we're looking at Kickstarter's cut. Then we're looking at taxes, and we're looking at incidentals, right? And I need to try to knock out as many kinks in my way I promote it, right? And in the way that
can I ask you? Did you say taxes?
no tactics.
Oh, tactics. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you said taxes. I'm sorry.
Wait, I said both. I said taxes in that 30,000, and then I said tactics.
Okay, why would you have taxes? Why would you even put that in there? If you have an LLC, you can write all this off.
Yeah, but you still got to pay import fees, dude. My stuff is getting printed.
You didn't say airport fees. You said taxes.
Excuse me. Taxes is the blanket statement for that extra bit of money I got to pay to bring that shit into the country.
That's called incidentals.
Incidentals. Oh, look at that. Oh, we're getting porn spammed. Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to go. Oh,
There you go.
oh, here we go. Here we go. Yes, Daphne. Thank you. Tariffs. Yeah, I'm sorry, Daphne. I've had a couple tonight. Okay. I hope your husband forgives me. All right.
Never.
So, yes.
Never.
I said taxes, and I said something else, and I meant tariffs. Okay.
Tariffs. Okay. That's different.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
And you got to pay the senior VP.
The which ones?
You got to pay the senior VP.
Oh, I got to tell you, I got to pay the senior VP. I got to pay myself. I got to pay myself too. Shit. But you know,
whoa, wait a second. Hold on.
What's up?
You're the CEO, right?
Me or him?
You,
I guess.
Mr. Rosario.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get paid.
I take out stuff quarterly.
You don't get paid. You're not supposed to get paid.
Of course,
you're not supposed to get paid, bro. I'm just saying.
Dude, say that to me.
You can have stock options.
Say I got stock options. Yes.
Hey, everybody gets off the ship except for the captain.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, fuck that.
Exactly.
Fuck that. If there's a fire, get out of my way. Get out of my way.
In my lifeboat.
Here we go. We got Timothy. Like what size action figures with cars and everything? Yes, Tim. They're going to be 6-inch figures. Like I said, it's going to be $23,000 to produce 2,000 units. That's going to cover the packaging and the shipping as well, and going to be for multiple color styles. So yeah, there's a whole lot of other insider baseball that I can get into, but I don't want to. We'll save that for another one.
Yeah,
I do want to say, since we're nearing the end of this over here, that this is going to be the last giveaway until the last day of the push. All right. So the campaign for the Dead Princess Vicky sticks is going to be ending on November 3rd, approximately 7 to 8 o'clock.
Oh, you have plenty of time.
I'll be running a 2-hour live stream then.
What did you do? A 2-month campaign?
35 days. 5 weeks. Yeah. So I hit that valley hard, bro. I went down in that valley.
Wait, so I would go 10 days without a pledge. You know how torturous that is?
I know, because in my last one I had a lot. I know people don't like Kick Track, but I go through a lot of numbers on Kick Track, not their projected numbers, but what you've done on the day and measure that against previous campaigns, stuff like that. But on November 3rd, we're going to be giving away 2 different sketch covers with the prize packs. So there's only going to be 2 giveaways on the final day. And then we're also going to be going into what we're going to be doing after this campaign. All right. So before we all say our goodbyes to everybody, let me run this random number generator. No backers. The number hasn't moved. So it is the same amount of people.
Consistent.
For It's considered. Thank you.
Nobody
Thank you.
knows
Thank you.
the trouble I've seen.
But while I'm talking about this, excuse me, while I'm trying to find this, Sam, we're doing about anywhere between 40 to 60 for the day, right? There have been some days where we've hit $10. There's some days that we hit 60. So the average has been around 40.
I went like 9 days with nothing, and then I got $1.
I had one negative day. I had one negative day, dude.
I said, here, don't spend it all in one place.
I had one backer.
Wow.
And I gained 2 backers that day. And then those 2 backers pulling out brought me to a negative $1. I was like, damn, we're doing so good. Negative one day.
That was the last 2 days I got 12 backers.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. So you pulled out a nice little bump at the end. All right.
Yeah.
So here we go. The parameters are still set from 1 to 105. All right. So this again is to go and say thank you to some of the people who have been backing me on this campaign. And Noemi.
I'm pretty sure this thing is rigged, man. Go ahead.
It's not rigged. It's not rigged. Number 80. Number 80 is the winner for the day. All right. That is the last prize being given away today. And until the last day of the campaign. So there's 11 days left in the campaign. So number 80, backer number 80 is
Guadalupe.
Man, I really hope I don't get a copyright strike for that one. Backer number 80 is number 80 is Brandon. Brandon Wenzel. Brandon, my man.
Super fan.
Yes, a super fan. Ryan remembers him from when we went to Chicago, and we were out there for C2E2, and Brandon told us to go to Lou Malnati's, not go to Giordano's, not go to any other pizzas. He said Lou Malnati's was the best pizza in Chicago, and Ryan, David, myself, we all agree. Lou Malnati's was the place to be in Chicago. So thank you for that, Brandon. Thank you for constantly supporting us.
Told you it was rigged.
Yeah.
Oh, you son of a gun.
All right.
You son of a gun. So
have you ever noticed how he picks him and then he laughs, he giggles a little, like ha ha. I knew my friend would win.
I wish. Brandon lives in Chicago.
He just
Erica
loves
only
them
spent
all.
$5.
He loves them all.
Come on, man. Come on. Here we go. We got the realist saying what's up.
That's my brother right there.
Oh, realist, what's up? Coming from Seattle. Yo, realist, you could have won a prize today, kid. You know what I'm saying? If Calderon says we're rigged, I would have been getting you stuff to win. I'm just saying. But whatchamacallit? So we had 3 winners today: Erica Rodriguez, Brandon Wenzel, and Ron Brooks. Thank you so much for supporting my books. Thank you for supporting
what's up
on a regular basis. But going to Comic-Con, Chicago C2E2, we're doing it again next year. Who's coming with us?
Am I the only one? Oh shit!
When is that?
The last day is Sunday, April 2nd. So it's gonna be a 3-day show.
How is that event?
It's good, dude.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good it's Chicago. It's a Reed Pop show. It's wider than this show. I did not like the layout that they had the last time we went.
The place is huge.
The place is so fucking big, dude. The place is so big.
But
it's like,
is it where Wizard World used to hold their event?
I don't know. I never did a
at the
Wizard World
convention
in
center.
Chicago. If it is that's the McCormick place is the only one that I know of. But like Wizard World, the only ones I did was Philly, and that was the Philly Expo Center.
I did Chicago 2 years in a row.
Let me tell you, dude. We did Chicago. We stayed in Chinatown. We walked every day to and from the convention, through the projects, because we're from New York. We know how to carry ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Chicago's another beast. It's on a different
was.
level.
We
It
stay
was.
right?
It
Yo.
was. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. It was.
It's
It
on a whole
was.
other level.
It was. But those motherfuckers had White Castles out there, baby. And we had that shit for breakfast. Shout out to Chicago and their White Castles, brother. All right, that held me down in the morning, brother. Oh man. But you know, dude, we did Chicago. I think I did very well. I played it up like a heel when we were in Chicago. I was telling people the zombie book sold very well because I was telling folks passing by, you can either, if you hate New Yorkers, you can watch us get eaten by zombies. If you love New Yorkers, you can see us try to survive the zombie apocalypse, you know? And that went over. What didn't go over was me talking smack about their pizza, talking smack about Frank Thomas, talking smack about the White Sox, talking smack about the Cubs losing to the minor league Mets, shit like that. That they didn't like that. They didn't like it.
But yeah, going back to that layout that he was talking about, if you guys been to the Javits, imagine the entire Javits on a floor that is about 10 times the size of the Javits, and it's only a square right in the middle. Like imagine 4 of the keys on your keyboard right now is the space that they had, and indies were on the outside of that.
Yeah, because it's well, okay. So, Sam, if you remember going there, do you remember the food court being this little mini building in the middle of the sales floor that went 2 floors up?
Yeah, like a little tower.
Yes,
a watchtower.
Dead center of the floor.
Well, I went there back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it 3 times. I did it. When did we do it? 2018, and then I did it in 2013 and 2011. I did it. Not a bad drive. Let me tell you, awesome drive to Chicago.
Don't get me started on the drive.
From New York. All right.
Oh, how long was that drive?
Let me ask you a question. So, I mean, obviously, there's a financial stake you're putting into going out to the show, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, whatever the table costs, $600, $700, $800, close, $1,200.
A lot cheaper than New York. Didn't have the union like they do in the Javits.
Right. So you got let's say $600 on the table, maybe as much in a hotel or the Airbnb.
300 for the 3 nights.
Okay, 900. You got gas, tolls, all that stuff, right?
Maybe $200.
Okay. Back then, now though it's gonna be a little different.
Yeah.
Maybe an extra $100.
Agreed.
Right. So 1,200, right? And then you have stock, materials, all that stuff, right?
Which
Let's
I
not
already
even talk
have.
about food.
Which I already have.
Right, but you still got to pay for it. That's an investment in and of itself.
But that's been paid. Right? That's right. But see, something like that, you don't break down to the end of the year. You don't, or quarterly. It's not per trip.
No, of course, but it's still an expense.
Of course.
Regardless, it's still an expense.
Yes.
So you're probably gonna have to make at least, if you're gonna double your money. I mean, at least 25.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So all right. So
and the $120 in hot dogs that you spent at the
yes, the daily food intake. Yes.
Right. I mean, that's all. I didn't even bring up food because I'm like, you're probably gonna eat out with everybody. I don't know if you're gonna go out, if you do it every night.
And we did at night. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say we didn't, but during the day, I know because my stomach is all wonky and stuff like that. When I'm doing a show, I'm eating something like a Cliff Bar, something that's high energy protein that's not going to send me to the restroom multiple times, and that'll bind me very well.
Yeah, it'll bind you.
That's awesome. Bro. Yeah,
Like I got so many things to say right now, and I just can't say none of them.
And I'll say this. I will also say this, right? Because I'm like this, right? Ryan may have the tag name El Duro, but baby, I am
El Tacaño.
I am super, super hard, right? I brought my cup from Wild Bill Soda to Chicago because I don't want to pay $25 for a brand new cup. And I drank every day. I don't know if you guys know Wild Bill Soda. As long as you got the cup, you just pay $5 and you get unlimited drinks. Guess what? It was those $5, and I drank unlimited for the whole fucking weekend.
Remember, we didn't even pay the $5 because as exhibitors, they gave us free badges, the free wristbands.
Yes. So we had extra money for the booze. I know. Look, and I apologize.
You ever did Dragon Con?
No. And I had family in Atlanta. I could have done it. See, that's
now
the thing.
Now we got family in Emerald City.
Yes.
You heard that, Realist?
We're staying with you, Realist. You know, whatchamacallit. That's why the dogs in the elevator would have said, yes, ma'am. That's why they were upset, because of the hot dogs that we had in Chicago. But, you know, that's my thing, dude. I'm only going to do shows. If I'm driving to the show, I'm only going to do shows that I got family at. Right? So that's one of the reasons why I want to do Dallas Fan Expo in June. Because I got my cousin, I got one of my boys out there.
And you gonna stay at Sam's?
What's up?
You gonna stay at Sam's?
I would like to, but my cousin is putting in a pool. I don't know if Sam got a pool.
I don't got a pool. I got dogs.
See, so I'm gonna go chill in the hot tub, bro. I'm gonna chill in the hot tub. And I'm gonna say this. I know this is my cousin, but I'm extending this to you, Calderon. Ryan already knows this. He's got an open invitation. If you could book Dallas Fan Expo in June and you want to go, you just got to pay for your flight. Stay with us at his place, bro.
You're not driving?
No, that's a 26.
No, I know. I know. It's a.
Yeah.
I know.
Dude,
I'm just joking.
I drove out here.
I know.
Run.
Dude, I've done it twice, going and coming.
Nope, I didn't stop at a hotel. No sleeping. It was a straight run.
Oh no, we stopped. We stopped in Nashville both times.
No, I was driving like IRS was after me.
Dude, so you know what it's like, right? The going through the Smoky Mountains is like driving through the Interborough over here, right? Yeah. 2-lane highway, elevated, where tractor trailer trucks are just going through, bro.
Everywhere.
Yo, and it's winding, and And I'm like, holy shit. We stopped.
How long is that drive?
26 hours. From
mine was 32 because I had my dogs and I had to always stop to walk them and feed them. And so yeah. Yo,
how many you got?
They all 5. They all got sick in the car. They all threw up in the car. It was, me and Jonathan, we looked like because 32 hours, we didn't bathe, we got dog hair all over us. The car smells like crap because these guys are getting sick in the back. When we pulled up at 1 a.m. to Texas, I mean, we looked like crap. And then we had to get up in 5 hours to unload the trucks.
It's literally a broad freeway. And he goes, I drove 2,900 miles there because you are a crazy SOB. That's why, right? I've never drove East Coast to West Coast. We did Chicago, done Philly. I've done, Midwest is the furthest. And then I was in Vegas and I drove to California. I drove to Anaheim. That was a 5-hour drive. That was a baby drive. But dude, I don't know, 32 hours, I would have killed somebody. I would have killed somebody.
And I had to. And I drove of the 32 hours. I drove 27 of them because Jonathan. I took the truckers route, and he always gets nervous with the trucks. Yeah. He would swerve to try. I'm like, the trucks are not going to hit you. They're going straight, but every time they got close, he would. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to drive. And I was like, you just got to stay awake.
See, I understand what you're saying, but there's that drag. You know what I'm saying? You can get caught up in that fucking drag, bro.
Get behind the engine.
That's a son of a bitch.
Hypermile, yo.
There's a son of a bitch.
Yo, but it's a beautiful sight when it's like midnight and for miles, all you see is trucks.
Yeah.
Thousands of trucks. I never seen anything like it on the road. And I'm like, look at this. It's like a caravan, and I'm the only freaking car in the and I'm like, this is freaking amazing.
I just wanna get into this for a second. All right. He said I stopped at Gary, Indiana, because his wife didn't want to die in Chicago. Not like Gary, Indiana is that much better.
Listen to the comment.
At least you could say I died in Chicago. You
Look at the comment.
I died in the place that the Jackson 5 were born. You know what I mean? It's like
So you already booked? You already booked Fan Expo?
I have not. Because with the day job, we don't get to start booking stuff until January for that part of the year. So the earlier part we can.
It's a good show. I did really well there.
Yeah.
Fan
That was
Festival
last
not
week
so
for you,
much.
right?
No, last week was Fan Festival. It was run by Fan Expo. Fan Festival sucked. Fan Festival should have been just a Saturday show.
Okay.
They opened up on Friday at 4 p.m. And until 9 o'clock p.m. And it was dead men's. So maybe 200 people showed up to the whole event. And then Saturday, it was where most of the people were because they had the cast of House of the Dragons. And then Sunday it was moderate traffic. It should have just been a Saturday show, a one-day show. But Fan Expo, the one that was in July, I did extremely well.
Yeah, nice. That's about what 50,000-60,000 people, right?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, that's what Chicago hits. Also, Chicago hit that number. Dude, they said New York numbers were 200,000 people. We're definitely doing New York next year. That's the home show. You coming back to New York for that, man? Or no?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
You can stay with Medina.
I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to San Diego.
Yeah, I don't do. I'm gonna stay away from San Diego.
Why?
The expense toll alone in that right now for me will wipe me.
Yeah, it's expensive. That's expensive.
Not the reward. The risk is not worth the reward for that. I'm gonna get the same amount of exposure at San Diego that I'm gonna get in New York. I would.
See, for me, it'll be New York. Having to go all the way back out to New York.
Yeah, but you still got family that you could crash with out here. You can't crash with nobody in San Diego, can you? You got family there?
No.
See, I got my ex-wife in San Diego. I'm not going. My new wife is not going to stay with her. yeah, right. Seattle is definitely an option because besides Ryan's brother, I got my cousin who's
Emerald City.
He's in Oregon.
Wasn't that in December?
I don't know.
I think Emerald City's in December.
Is that another repop?
That is another repop.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the way Repop treats me. And I know a lot of people don't, but I like how to operate within Repop system. Fan Expo is their competitor. I've never done anything with them, so I want to get down with that. I want to see what it's like.
What was the other one they just took over that you were telling me about, Jay?
They took over MegaCon. Oh, Repop or Fan Expo?
Repop. There was a convention that you told me they had just taken over recently. A big one.
Oh, it's March.
March is Chicago.
March is Emerald City Comic Con.
Oh, so then I won't be able to do it then.
The 2nd through the 5th. They moved it because it wasn't this year. Was in December.
See, that's the wonky thing, dude. I'm gonna do one or the other. I'm most likely gonna be C2E2 because
the MegaCon's already sold out.
That's why it would have been MegaCon. It would have been MegaCon because my wife's whole family's out there, right? And I've got support staff. That's another thing for me. You were mentioning earlier, Sam, that when you got the booth, you got somebody there who can talk while you're promoting or vice versa, right? Calderon, you were saying the same thing the other day with your wife. You step away from the booth. She takes care of stuff. But that's an important thing. It really is. That's why Ryan is with me at so many conventions because he knows how to manage me. He knows how to bring me in to complete a sale. He knows how to bring me in to fill the gaps within a sale, but also give me the time to build outreach with other customers and do promotional stuff. And
also when to pull him when his energy is being wasted. Hey, JD, you want some hash browns? You want to get some hash browns?
Now you gave me the secret word.
Yeah.
I tend to ramble. I do tend to ramble. But
not just that. There's sometimes, and as people that are trying to sell stuff, we know that the customer is always right, right? You want to give them all the attention that they want from you. But there are some people that don't want to buy anything. That their transaction with you,
It's the interaction.
time. No, it's time. They want to spend time with you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at a certain point, they got to understand, like, this is a business, right? It's not just a hobby. We're not just chilling there. Like at the con, yeah, talk your head off, whatever. If that starts to impede sales, like, he's never going to be the one to say, hey, I got to stop talking to you. I got to go and try and sell some stuff. So I got to be the one to pull him out. But not to make it obvious to the person they're talking to either. Like, hey, shut the F up. He's got to go make a sale. No, hey, we come up with a code word. Now we got to change it. But it'll no longer be hash browns. But the point is that you need someone there to kind of manage you.
Yeah, we would refer to those people, we call them barnacles.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
They hang on. They serve no purpose.
Yeah.
But guys, this has been one hell of a night. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Thank you for helping me give stuff away to some of the people who can get back in my campaign. Where can they find you guys at? Sam, let's start with you.
Dutiesworld.com. Get all your duty paraphernalia at dutiesworld.com. If you missed the campaign, you can get all the books through my website or Catch the Craze. I'm always on streaming on YouTube with Catch the Craze podcast, anywhere on social media at Catch the Craze.
Nice. Yeah. Mr. Calderon.
You can find me here on YouTube tomorrow night under JD Calderon. Right? You're hanging out, talking comics on a Sunday night. Mr. Rosario will be there along with a bunch of other awesome comic book creators. You can also find me on the OswaldChronicles.com or TallTalesOnline.com or on the JD Calderon on Facebook, Twitter, DeviantArt, and Instagram.
Mr. El Dudo, Senior VP, where can they find you?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just UnstoppableComics.com.
There we go. And for everybody who's been following us tonight, you see in the little ticker tape, that's where all my other social handles are. So you'll see the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTube is Jay the Unstoppable. If you're following us there,
click like,
let us know,
subscribe, ring that bell.
Yeah, do all of that stuff that they say that's fucking annoying, but you know what they're trying to do. They are just like me, trying to interact with the rest of the community, right, Sam? And bring people to the stuff that we're trying to put together, right? So thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Again, we are going to be doing this on November 3rd. For the closing of the Vicky Sticks campaign, we're going to be giving away a few special items. I mentioned it before, sketch covers, one of a kinds to anybody who has been backing us, and let you know what's coming up next. All right. Thank you all, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you. And go buy Vicky Sticks.
Yeah.